You want to make a great first impression with your videos so you can grow your coaching business using this glorious gift of the internet. But there are a lot of things to consider when using video, and I totally get it. It can be really overwhelming to get started. So in this video, I want to share with you 3 simple techniques to create a great first impression so you can attract more prospects into your coaching practice. Hey, I'm Nicolette, and I have been a video editor for 4 years now. And after getting my own life coach certification last year, I've become painfully aware of how many coaches are struggling to get their messages out online. I hear in so many coaching communities and forums that coaches, they're just struggling to convert prospects online with their videos, or they don't even know how to get started with video, period. Now, there are a lot of variables to consider when it comes to creating your videos to attract prospective clients, and we will definitely talk about that in future videos. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep it super simple to help you start off future videos on the right foot. After I share these 3 simple steps you can take to ensure you make a great first impression on camera, I want to share with you why this is so vitally important to growing your online business. Stick with me to the end, okay? So you can maximize your impact when creating your future videos. Now, the first thing you really need to consider is how you talk to the camera. This is probably one of the most difficult things for people to get over and get their head wrapped around, but it is vital to your ability to connect with a viewer that you speak a certain way to the camera. Let's check out this example of when I was first making videos.
I've been on quite a journey in my life over the past few years, and I'm here at a marketing workshop. They've kind of dared us to get on a Facebook Live.
Versus a more recent one like this.
Anytime you're stuck, if you're trying to create content and you just don't know what to do, or you don't know which strategy to move on to next, depending on where you are, look for these leaders and see what they're doing and just kind of look at the evolution of their brand and their business and see.
Can you put your finger on what some of the differences are that make this more recent video way better? Hopefully in the second video, you felt a little bit more connected to me, even if you can't figure out why. When you talk to the camera, here are some ways to make it easier and more natural for you. So one way to do it is to have a purpose for the video you're creating. You want to know what you're going to talk about and why it matters to you. The more familiar you are with the topic and the more you have an understanding of why it's so important to you, the easier it's going to be to talk about. The second way to make talking to the camera easier is to know who you're talking to. It's really hard to look at the camera and shoot a video. This camera, it's just this impersonal gadget. It serves a function. It records you. There's a really big difference between talking to a camera and talking to a person. So before you ever hit that record button, make sure you have one person in mind when you create your script, and you can even address the camera with that person in mind as you record, and you can address them on camera if it makes it feel a little bit more real to you. Whatever you do, make sure you have someone in mind that you're sharing your content with. If you got to go and edit that name out after, that's fine. Just make it comfortable for you. It's going to make a huge difference on how comfortable you are on camera, and the biggest impact it's going to have is on the viewer. It is subtle, but there is a huge difference between just watching a video and feeling like the person on the other side of the screen is talking directly to you. Subtle, but huge for getting prospective clients connecting to you and your message. The third way to get more comfortable on camera is something I hinted at in number 2, but it's using a script. Try to script your videos and use a handy little teleprompter. They're not that expensive, and as a matter of fact, you can check out the teleprompter I'm using right now in the description below. Just check it out down there. They're really awesome, and they'll help you keep your eyes on the camera and get through the video more quickly and effortlessly. Unless you want to spend hours recording and re-recording and re-recording and re-recording because of getting lost in your thoughts and your ums and your ahs. It's not fun, actually, but if that's fun for you, by all means, don't script your videos and don't use teleprompters. But if you do want an easier, streamlined recording experience, do yourself a favor and just be prepared before you shoot. All right, so that's a short and sweet look at how you speak to the camera. Remember, the way you speak to the camera will make or break the way a viewer connects with you. It's really important that you think about how you're cultivating trust with these prospective clients, especially as a coach. Now, another thing I want you to consider is your lighting. let's take a look at this epic scene from one of my previous client sessions.
Throwing money. You look super creepy right now. I just want to let you know.
Let me move forward.
I feel like I'm
Lighting is huge and a really important element to making a professional video that helps you stand out and connect effectively with your prospects. We want to see your beautiful face clearly, and if you've got bad or poor lighting, the quality of your video is going to suffer, and so are your views. Here are a few little tricks you can use to ensure you get high quality light for your videos, even if you don't have a huge budget for lighting. The first and easiest tip is to just set up your camera in front of a window during the day. You can use any window in your house, but try to use a window where the sun is not shining directly in it. You want sunlight. It's powerful. It works really, really well on camera, but you do not want to get overexposed to light and have a washed out video. The best place to set up to use sunlight and maximize the windows in your house is going to be like a northward or southward facing window, so you'll never have to worry about the sun hitting you directly. Obviously, this isn't going to be great on overcast days, so it's not a consistent thing to depend on. And really, depending on where you live in the world, if you live in stormy climates, dark climates, if you live in Alaska or in the northern areas where it's dark for a good bit of the year, this may not be a great option for you, but do what you can. And if you can maximize sunlight in your home, try to do that. A second way to use light is to just get a high quality LED. I always suggest this LED ring light from Amazon. You're going to see it listed in the description below. It's super awesome, it's efficient, and it's pretty inexpensive. I recommend this light to anybody I talk to about creating videos. It really helps you get great lighting for your videos. You can take it anywhere, and it's pretty light and easy to break down and set up. And in many cases, it may be the only light you actually need for your video, depending on where you're shooting and the look you're going for. Having a well-lit space will make a huge difference in the quality of your video. And it does not have to break the bank for you to get great lighting for your videos. Well, after all, if you want to give a great first impression to prospects, you want to show yourself in the best light possible. So really be mindful of how the light is set up in your videos and make sure that the light used is creating a crisp image for your viewers to get the most impact out of your video. So we've discussed how important how you talk to the camera is, and we've covered lighting, which is super important to create high quality videos that are easy to watch. Now, the last thing I want you to consider is where you are in the camera. I know this sounds a little bit odd, and I really don't see too many creators talking about this, but it's really important that you understand where you are in the camera will actually set you apart as well. Have you ever heard of the rule of thirds? The rule of thirds is a 200-year-old concept in design where the subject is positioned in a piece of art. Though the idea may have first been conceived for art, it's really still relevant for photography and videography to this day. According to study.com, the rule of thirds is a technique designed to help artists and photographers build drama and interest in a piece. The rule states that a piece should be divided into 9 squares of equal size, with 2 horizontal lines intersecting 2 vertical lines. Since you're creating video content, the rule of thirds is really just handy to be aware of. Don't kill yourself over this one, okay? I just want you to be aware of how visual interest is going to help you stand out as a professional and make that first impression a great one, even if it's not really easy for a viewer to pinpoint. Check out this example. My head is way too low on the screen. It's cutting off my neck, and there's just way too much in the frame that's distracting from my message. It's really not a good look, and it does not set me up to make a great first impression with viewers. And check this out from earlier when the camera was cutting my head off. That's also not a good look. If you'd like to ensure you're maximizing the rule of thirds in your videos, I created transparent overlays that you can add to any of the video editing software that you might use. So when you or your post-production video editor is editing, you've got an easy guide to follow to ensure you're situated in a way that's visually appealing. If you want to snag this for yourself, you can find a link for them in the description below. I made horizontal and vertical rule of thirds for you. And as a small caveat, the way you follow and consider the rule of thirds is going to vary from platform to platform, since there's so many different ways to create videos to distribute online. Using the rule of thirds to make a great impression is really most helpful for videos like this, published to YouTube or in the 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio. Though where you position your head especially your eyes, is really important to be aware of no matter what platform you're creating videos for. That's why I included the horizontal and vertical rule of thirds in your download if you choose to snag the file below. It'll give you a really good guideline to understand in future videos how to position your head to make sure you're maximizing the visual appeal. Many professionals just don't consider these 3 simple elements when creating their videos. And honestly, the quality of their videos are suffering as well as their viewership. There are so many more elements to consider in creating great videos, but to make a great first impression, these are easy. They'll make a really big difference on how connected viewers are feeling to you, and it's gonna help you look like a pro. Now remember, I mentioned I'd discuss why this matters, and here's why. Your videos may be the very first time someone is meeting you. And it may be the first time someone is spending their time to find out more about you. It's as simple as maximizing your ability to show up professionally to a new prospect. I like to compare creating videos to networking in person. When you attend a networking event, you make a great first impression with the level of confidence you bring with you to the event and how you speak to each of the fellow entrepreneurs you meet. The more confident you are about what you do and the value you bring and how you communicate that value, the higher the chance of getting new clients or referrals from these events. It may seem vain to care about lighting and where your face sits on camera, but it really does shine through in subtle but powerful ways to your prospective clients that are viewing your videos. Every little step that we can take to shine as professionals and establish trust with the viewers, it's so important, very powerful, and it's going to set you up for success. Now, I've got a question for you. Would you be interested in getting feedback on your videos before you publish them online for the world to see? Let me know if you'd like some help and feedback for your videos. With enough interest, I'm thinking about creating a Facebook group where we can give and receive meaningful feedback to ensure every time we make a video, it improves in quality and impact for our viewers. So, if that sounds interesting to you, write in the comments below a big hell yes. Once I start seeing some interest for that, I'm definitely going to set it up so that you can be set up for success with your videos in 2020 and beyond. Now, keep an eye out for future videos on how to make powerful videos to grow your coaching business. The easiest way to keep your eye out is to hit that subscribe button so anytime I put a new video out, you're notified. And while you're subscribing, make sure you hit that thumbs up if you got value from this video. Again, this is Nicolette, and I will see you in the next one.